You're listening to Abruptly with Preeti. More than just baby blues. For the past 25 minutes, Nikita had been walking up and down in her balcony. Her anxious state was at odds with her task of trying to soothe the newborn on her shoulder. Her baby had been ceaselessly wailing for what seemed to be an eternity before she got to him. After ruling out hunger pangs and diaper disasters, Nikita kept switching between rocking, bouncing, and shoulder patting, but all in vain. When she couldn't take the agony of her inconsolable baby anymore, a pacifier came to her rescue. After taking a few deep breaths, Nikita put her son Advik in the bassinet and lied down on the bed, which was connected to the crib. Nikita's eyes were brimming with tears of guilt for not being able to interpret her infant's cries and resorting to the infamous pacifier. Contrary to her anticipation, exhaustion didn't lull her to sleep. Instead, her entire challenging day started replaying in her head. It wasn't just today that a sense of hopelessness had wrapped Nikita. Shortly after Advik was born, anxiety, severe mood swings, insomnia, restlessness, and a spiral of extreme rage and frustration had overpowered her. For the first couple of weeks, she had disregarded her condition as a mere sign of baby blues of a new mom. However, the crying spells, mood fluctuations, troubled sleep, panic attacks, and perennial depressed state turned more intense with every passing week. It was none other than Advik's nanny Rose who crossed her mind in this bleak situation. Equipped with round-the-clock support from Rose, Nikita was able to keep the maternity blues at bay for some time after Advik was born. But by the time Advik turned 4 months old, coronavirus had wreaked havoc across the world, forcing many to flee back to their native land from the big cities. The news about the spike in the number of the COVID-19 patients got Rose worked up to a point that she decided to leave for her parental home in Assam even before the lockdown was imposed. Nikita's husband Nitin stepped forward to salvage the tricky situation in the absence of Rose. But his work-from-home arrangement restricted his attempts, leaving an overwhelmed Nikita all alone in a harrowing plight. After the initial self-navigation through the bumpy road of motherhood, Nikita became immune to the postnatal blues which were marring her cheerful existence. Nikita was mindful that she was hit by postpartum depression, and it had dented her ability to connect with people, like her loving husband, caring family members and friends, despite their repeated attempts of reaching out to her. It was 4 a.m. and her baby had yet again started crying. But this time, Nitin woke up first to tend to the baby, assuming that Nikita was sleeping. Once her baby was back in his cot, Nikita turned her face towards him and saw him self-soothing with the help of his favorite pacifier. And that's when it occurred to her. It's none other than her baby who was at the receiving end of her condition. "I think your screen is frozen, Nikki," said Dr. Mehta as she leaned closer to the screen. This drew Nikita back to the present moment from her long flashback. Nikita resumed narrating her story to her therapist. "Since I wasn't able to reach out to anyone familiar, I decided to contact you, doctor." The Struggle series was a product of the pandemic, but its stories are universal. If this tale touched you, I would love to hear about it. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook at Stories by Preeti, or email me at preeti@coloredchalk.in. For everything else, check out my website preetishah.com. Don't forget to subscribe to this show on the podcast app you love. We are available everywhere. Thank you for listening. Until next time.